I guess I started. Hello, if you're watching the archive, go ahead and skip a little bit ahead, or just hang out. I'll just be sitting here typing as I get the post updated. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in 4K, 30 frames per second. Assuming that it actually works well. We'll see in a second. Okay, yeah, the stream is smooth so far. Don't seem to be any dropped frames. Oh, there were some dropped frames, never mind. Upload seems to be okay. Let's pause that because we don't want to waste bandwidth. Let's pop out that chat. Okay. And then, you know what else I need to do? I should have gotten those files prepared ahead of time. Because we went to, well, man, I'll just wait till you guys get in the stream. But I've been pretty busy last week. And I did some cool stuff, took some cool videos. We're gonna be good. Gonna be good. It is so hot in here. You cannot even imagine. Wait, what song am I singing? Oh, it's a Final Fantasy song. What song? I can't remember that. Da na 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 na. Ooh. Oh, Jason, sorry, Jason and Aaron. Didn't realize you guys were in here. I was just waiting for the stream to start, and I started looking at pictures. There's a forum, a video game forum that I go to, and they do like a pickup post where they show what they bought for the month, and I just started looking at cool stuff people bought. Like this guy bought an orange Nintendo 64. Looks real good. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. That game has been pretty popular lately. Somebody bought art book. Okay. Anyways, let me make sure everything's still working. Everything seems to be working. Okay, well, today's stream's gonna be a little bit short. For one thing, it's probably 85 degrees in this room right now. It's probably relatively accurate. Also, Jason and Aaron, man, shout outs to you guys for just being like there on the stream every time. You guys are amazing, man. Well, especially Jason. Jason, you are a beast. The beastmas for the rest of us. A Festivus for the rest of us. Okay, anyways, so for one thing, it's like 85 degrees in here. And then today I spent probably like 12 hours driving. Maybe it wasn't a full 12 hours. But I was in Minnesota for Summer Games Done Quick. It's this marathon that they do every year, twice a year. And Marie Fisher, guys, this is huge news. I met Marie Fisher in real life in Minnesota. Marie Fisher is kind of a beast too. We had fried chicken. That fried chicken was so good. And then I met Daryl Anderson too. If you guys remember Big D Japan, so he was there also. We had fried chicken. Then we went out to the lake, and then we like found like this origami thing. You'll see it all in the vlog. I didn't vlog too much, but enough that you guys will know what happened. So I went to SGDQ, and then that's in Minnesota. So it took me like 12 hours to get there because I stopped like a million times. On the way back, I was like, oh man, I don't want to pay all the tolls that I had to pay on the way there. It was just like, I brought like $20, right? I brought a $20 bill, maybe $15, and a whole coin purse of coins. By the time I got to Minnesota, all of my money was gone from paying tolls, and I was like, dude, I'm not paying that on the way back. So on the way back, I made sure that Google Maps was set to no tolls. And so it had me going directly through Chicago. I was like, oh, this is a bad idea, isn't it? This is definitely a bad idea. I've driven through Chicago like a billion times. Like, I used to do it almost every weekend. And I had to drive like an extra hour just sitting in traffic waiting to get through Chicago proper. And then the worst part of it is there's a toll road to get into Indiana that you can take that would speed up my drive by 30 minutes. And after sitting in the car for an hour, I was like, oh God, I'm going to pay that toll, aren't I? Because I don't want to sit in the car for another extra 40 minutes or 30 minutes or however much it was to just take the local roads instead of the toll road. So I took the toll road. So I ended up having to pay a toll anyway, which that's an expensive toll. The bridge, just getting over the bridge that they have from Chicago to Indiana costs $5.30. And then you have to pay 2 more times when you go through that road. So it was unfortunate. So I am very, like, just covered in grime right now. I stopped for a run halfway through. So then I was baking. That was literally halfway through. So then I'm baking in the car for another 4 or 5 hours, just covered in muck. And then when I get home, I didn't have enough exercise because this whole past week, it was just me and Daryl going around to different places. Well, first of all, we watched like 1 million hours of video games. So we're sitting there in a super cold room, just watching video games. And we had ice cream like every day because there was a Dairy Queen right there. Just ate crap food constantly. We went to the Mall of America, had Cold Stone there. And just a lot of ice cream, a lot of food. So I really needed some exercise. So when I got home, I exercised again. So I have 2 layers of exercise, plus it's 85 degrees in here. So I'm very gross right now. Yeah, while I was sitting in that traffic in Chicago, I was thinking to myself the whole time, who would choose to live here? Like, I could understand if you grew up there and that's your home and you're like, well, I'm used to it now. But to actually subject yourself to that, I don't know if I can do that ever again. Because I moved voluntarily. I actually lived in Chicago for a while. I lived there for 3 months during an internship in college. And that wasn't even in the city proper. That was like in a suburb where DePaul University is. I can't remember what it's called now. In any case, every day the traffic was like that. And that's a whole nother story. I should tell that story on the vlog sometime about the wasted opportunity that was that internship. I'm going to talk about that right now. Because that's kind of a side note, but I've been wanting to do, well, man, it's hard for me to get all my thoughts out. Wasted time at internship. And not taking advantage of opportunities in general. Video essay. So while I was hanging out with Daryl, he was telling me that, remember that vlog I did? Maybe you guys don't remember this. I did a vlog a long time ago about how my cell phone just like takes over my life at night, where I'm lying in bed and then I just like get on Twitter or something, and then it's like an hour's pass and my brain just wants to drink it in so badly and I can't control myself. So I did like this vlog where I was tying myself, or I had my mother tie me to a tree, like Odysseus style versus the sirens. And I'd put my phone in the car, which the funny thing is about that, everybody's getting caught up on the fact that I was putting my phone in my car. They were like, oh, that's just asking for your phone to get stolen. I was like, dude, what type of neighborhood do you think I live in that somebody's just going to go into my car and steal my phone? Funnily enough, one time my car was unlocked and somebody stole like some art supplies out of my car. They didn't take anything else. They just took like some art supplies I had, which was weird. The car was also unlocked. So, anyways. It's really hot in here. Anyways, where was I going with that? Wasted time at the internship. Chicago, right. And then I moved to New York, and New York is just... Imagine this type of heat. Well, you can't imagine this heat because you're not experiencing it. So, you have to imagine it. But you don't know what heat I'm talking about specifically. Point is, imagine some really hot heat. That was redundant. And then put yourself in a city with like 1 million other people, and lots of people don't have air conditioners, and there's public transportation, and everybody's irritable, and just like the heat is literally just blasting off of the asphalt. That's what New York City is like. Add traffic on top of that, like, I need more peace and space than that. My blood pressure and my, like, fortitude, it just can't handle that. I'm not made for that. I don't think anybody's made for it, but I do think other people are more adaptable to that and less... Like, I think other people are just more adaptable in general than I am. Like, I'm pretty... I mean, I don't want to sell myself short. I can be adaptable, but in general, I veer towards the side of not adaptable. You know what I mean? Oh, Scott Neverdusky, welcome. Up Trail 71, here's to you. We were just talking about you. Why were we talking about you? Oh, I was talking about meeting up with viewers with Daryl, and I was mentioning Up Trail 71 and how it was great meeting you. Nancy Ow, welcome. These arms, I just did some push-ups today, so they're slightly more defined than they usually are. They'll go back to normal tomorrow. When I was exercising today, it's like, whenever I haven't exercised in a while, I just want to go out and just like bust through a wall and like kick down a wall. But then after a couple of days of exercise, I'm like, exercise is boring. So I need basketball again. James Elder. I think it's James Elder, but if it is James Elder, who's been commenting to get the merch, I have seen your pleas. We've all seen your pleas. We've pleaded with ourselves to get those shirts in order. This will be happening very soon. We're going to do Teespring, most likely, and we're going to start with one shirt because, well, I don't know if we'll start with one shirt, but we're very strongly leaning towards Teespring because you can do like the little dashboard under a video that'll have like the different shirt options and sell it directly through there. I got slammed with freelance work in April and May, and then when that happened, I was like, dude, I really have to start making a stand and being like, if I want to do Adventure Archives full time, I just gotta commit to it. And even if it's even if it's a gamble, you have to do that. You can't just constantly have one foot in one water and one foot in the other water and then expect to be able to do both at a high level. Like the freelance work, I wasn't able to work on Adventure Archives at all. Like all of April, I think, and then most of May. Maybe it's the opposite. But you gotta just like the same thing kind of happened with the studio actually. I'm assuming most of you know, but I had a Zumba studio, and when we opened that, we were making so little money at the beginning. I mean, we've never really made any money off of it, but we had to support ourselves with other work. So I was doing freelance subtitling, some freelance video here and there, and that it became to the point where the studio, the thing we wanted to be doing, was the distraction from the thing that we had to do to actually support ourselves. And with the studio, it was less feasible to do this. But with the videos, what's happening now is like my freelance videos are just taking up way too much time to where I can't work on what I really want to work on. Fortunately, it doesn't feel like Adventure Archives is a distraction because I've been able to keep these under control to where I can get back to the real work. But the point of all this is I'm saying is that as soon as I get this batch done, which I'm very close to getting done, although I've got one more shoot next week, so which is ironic. As soon as I get those done, jumping in full force, I'm just going for it, so I'll be able to focus on things like getting the t-shirts actually going. So, that was really long-winded. Man, I can ramble. I think you guys knew that by now, but boy, I can ramble it up. Bramble and ramble scramble. Okay, let's go back to all the things I missed. Marie Fisher said, I've never showered more in my entire life than the summer trip I took to New York. So if you guys ever saw the vlogs where I went to New York City for a week, it was a great trip because I got to meet Andreas Baum, and we went, and I also got to read, I can't remember his first name now, Maltese. I think it was Scott Maltese or James Maltese. I might be saying his last name wrong. Anyways, I got to meet both of them. We went, and I also went to Harriman State Park with Andreas. That was fantastic, man. We made some good videos. But by the end of that week, I was just literally just permanent sweat on my face. And even like every time you leave New York, the movie Escape from New York is the most, like, I wonder if John Carpenter, when he made that movie, he was thinking about all the times he's left New York. Leaving New York literally feels like an escape every time. Because it's not easy to leave New York. So you go to LaGuardia, you gotta take a bus there. You go to JFK, you gotta take a bus there. If you take an Uber there, it costs $1 billion. And then, so I'm taking the bus to LaGuardia. Oh, dude. No, when was that time where the plane didn't leave? I think that was a different one. One time I went and the plane was canceled. So I had to go back, stay with my old roommate after having waited at the airport for like an hour and then leave again in the morning. Oh, man, it's every time. So even, especially since that wasn't the same time. Maybe that was the same time. In any case, so one time the flight got canceled, I had to go stay overnight at my old roommate's place. And then the other time, like, the bus literally just gets stuck in traffic, like the bridge before the airport. So like just everybody on the bus was like, I'm just getting off, I'll walk there. So we're all walking there, there's just like miles of traffic in every direction. And like the relief I felt when I got home was literally, you could taste it. You could take a knife, you could cut it, and then just eat it with a fork, one piece at a time, and you'd be so full afterwards. I did a vlog on that. In fact, you can see that vlog, the relief that I felt. Like you can see it on the video. I don't remember which date that was, but I'm sure you can find it. New York, every time it's Escape from New York, baby. Okay. I have not been to Bangkok, but I can imagine Bangkok is hotter than you could possibly imagine. Heat, though, I can definitely deal with heat. Not as much indoors, like when it's indoors like this and the air is not moving, that's pretty difficult to deal with. But like, if I was wearing this outside, I'd be perfectly fine. It's only when you have to wear too much clothing or have to carry a bunch of stuff that heat can really get like really unpleasant, which is funny because so I'll get to that in a second, but basically we're doing a trip next week and it might be really hot, we'll see. And it also might rain and thunderstorm. So it could be a very interesting episode. We shall see. Oh, Up Trail 71, you already know. You already know we're going to do another meetup, son. In fact, I want to see some of that Superior hiking trail that you just finished. So we should definitely do that at some point. Power level 9,000. Here, it's right. Vegeta, he's right here. Power level 9,000. Or no, he says it's over 9,000. James Elder, we actually already have the t-shirt designs. Like, we have a t-shirt design for like the main, like ready to go. We just gotta actually do it, and that's just our man. James Elder, you better stay tuned about those Hawk Vittles. Let me just say that, but I will say that it has already been filmed. So anyways, kind of the topics that I said in the post, Let's make sure I don't miss any of them. Let me see here. So I'll be talking about the trip we filmed, our upcoming trip, and some side goodies I filmed last week. Okay, so first of all, the trip we filmed, we went to a place called Minister Creek in Allegheny National Forest. Don't look at any videos online because the route that other people took was opposite of what we did. So you see the big reveal at the beginning of their hikes. We did that at the end. So just for the maximum viewing pleasure, I would say hold off on looking it up. But it was a very cool place. The weather was very nice. It was a very relaxed trip, but really cool forest too. It was great. What was I saying about that? Oh, the hawk vittles. We tried out lots of stuff that people sent us. So the hawk vittles were definitely... I'm like 90% certain that we did a hawk vittle. But we shall see. Because I can't remember precisely. Okay, so we did that trip. That was great. It's all uploaded to Google Drive. It's ready to be edited. I'm going to get one good day of editing in tomorrow. Presumably. And then I really want it to get finished before... So my buddy Michael, he's coming to the U.S. I want to go visit him for maybe a week. And I want to get finished with that before he gets here, which is... the 22nd. So I want to be done with the episode before the 22nd, but I don't know how feasible that is because after we get back from the next thing I'm going to talk about, which is this week's trip, I have a video shoot the next week. But anyway, that's way too minutia. But the point is, I want to have it done before the 22nd of July to give you an idea of when we want to have that done. This coming week, our location is pretty much narrowed down to two places. It's in the same area. So one, they're kind of like backups of each other. We're not sure which one we're going to do. The weather is not looking ideal. It's definitely looking like it's going to be showers the first day, scattered thunderstorms the next day. Which is, of course, not ideal. But we can deal with it. And rain and stuff does make for some interesting episodes. This time, though, I have a plan. If it does rain, we are going to wait it out in the tarps. We're not going to try to keep walking while it's like pouring rain, because that type of pouring rain, it always passes really quickly. It might keep raining after that, but it's not going to be so heavy that you just get demolished with rain. Like we did that at Wayne National Forest. It only rained for like 20 minutes. We should have just hunkered down in the tarp, waited it out. Instead, we walked through it and then set up the tarp when it stopped raining. It's really stupid. So we'll see what happens, but I think that should work out pretty well. Okay, so that trip is going to be this weekend. Yes, this weekend. And we'll see how crowded it is because it is going to be July 4th weekend, which for those of you who don't know is Independence Day for the U.S. And I just found out recently that I think Canada's Independence Day is on July 1st. So correct me if I'm wrong on that, Jason Bourgeois, but I think that's the case because Daryl Anderson is also from Canada originally. Okay. Some people I haven't welcomed yet. Hans Alfred Benter IV, welcome. Greg Gustafsson. I swear I've pronounced your name correctly before. Gustafsson. Greg Gustafsson. Tim Lawson, Maruha, Esther Sugai, the legend, Alex Tessman. Okay, we can talk about Alex Tessman for a second. I also met Alex Tessman while I was in Minnesota, and we went to Glacial. So this is the side goodies that I was talking about. So I did some vlogging while I was at SGDQ last week, and me, Alex Tessman, and Big D, we went to Glacial Lakes State Park, which it does have backpacking. We found out that it does. We knew it did indeed have backpacking, but the whole time we were kind of like, yo, this is a really small park. Turns out the backpacking campsite is like basically primitive camping. You walk less than half a mile to your campsite, but the prairie itself, incredible. Like you walk around and just every direction you look looks like a Windows 95 screensaver. Is it 95 or 98? 98. Windows 98 screensaver. And it's just gorgeous, dude. There was a lot of mosquitoes. There was a few ticks. Although me and Daryl didn't see any, but Alex saw a few ticks. And there was a ton of mosquitoes at the campsite. So well, I guess I'm spoiling a little bit, but who cares? We go to the campsite, which is less than a half mile in, and it's in like the woods, so it's not like out on the prairie, and it's just mosquito heaven basically. So we get down in there, we're there for a second or two, we're about to start making a fire, and we're like, I don't know about this, because we're just getting eaten alive, and I'm like, the fire's not going to help that much with the mosquitoes. So we made the call to just go back to the campground. There's nobody at the campground except for one dude who set up his tent and then just left his tent there. But dude, we had these great ramens that Daryl brought from Japan. Oh man, they're so good. And then Alex brought some cheese curds. Oh dude, it was fantastic. Oh, and you'll see this on the vlog, but Alex made these cocktails. Like, he brought a cocktail kit. He had a legit briefcase. Like, just straight up lawyer's briefcase. He opened it up and he had like the shaker and stuff, and he had lemons, fresh lemon, and he had all his bitters. Man, I forgot what I had. Whiskey sour. I had a whiskey sour. I'm pretty sure I've had one of those before, but I've never had one that tasted that good. Like, that was actually like a delicious drink. Like, usually when I have alcohol, it's like, yo, this is a means to an end. Although I do like beer a lot, but like those type of drinks, like if I get some sort of like, whiskey, if I got anything with whiskey or bourbon or something, it's for one intent, and that's just to get drunk. It's not to actually enjoy the drink. I didn't know that those could be enjoyable. Like, I had that whiskey sour. It's like, dude, this is delicioso.us. Register it at GoDaddy.com because that's delicious. Okay, let's go back for a second. Let me catch up on chat. Aaron Jones, I've never finished KOTOR 2. I started it, but it was so buggy, and I was playing on the Xbox One, like the original Xbox, and the graphics were so bad. I've been meaning to eventually play it again on PC because I do have it, and I could get the mods that finishes all the content that was missed. But it's looking less and less likely that'll happen these days, so who knows. Oh, so Scott says that they build their houses to have airflow. That's cool. Okay. I'm doing good, Tim. I assume you were saying that because I said hello to Tim. Yes, Greg, we use the Nebo flashlights if you were the one who sent those. Which we need to do a better job, and I say we, but Brian and Andrew need to do a better job of marking who sends what, because the Nebo flashlights, like, we had so much stuff that we were trying out, and like I think we got everybody's names right. But I'm not 100% sure. But if you sent the Nebo flashlights, thank you, because those are incredible. I don't have it in the room right now, but those are impressive lights. Really cool. Oh, Maruha, yeah, you are from Chicago, aren't you? Yeah, I sat in Chicago traffic all day today. I don't know if you missed it. I talked about it earlier. But I was trying to avoid tolls, so I ended up going through Chicago. It was 2 in the afternoon. No, it was 1 in the afternoon. No, 2. In any case, it should not have been traffic like that. Like, I've driven through that portion many times. Like, I've driven through it in, like, morning rush hour, and it wasn't as bad as it was today. And as far as I could tell, there was no reason for it. Like, unless there was some, like, baseball, football game or something I didn't know about, but it sucked. It sucked so much, man. Alex, it was great hanging out with you, too, man. This was a fantastic week. It was so nice meeting you, Marie, and Daryl. I want to go back again, but I also don't want to do that drive. So it's a good thing that SGDQ is another year from now. So if I do go back, I have a year to psych myself up for the drive. And Esther, good to see you, man. It's been forever. I haven't been streaming on Twitch lately, so I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. James Elder, have I jumped into Mario Maker 2? So I was going to get it. And then I was like, you know what? Instead of me getting it, I'm going to get this and send it to my nephews. Because they would love it. They could play it with their dad, and then they're all like making courses and stuff. They would get way more enjoyment out of it than I would. And then when I go there, I could play it. And I'm pretty sure Brian and Andrew, at least Brian, I'm sure Brian will get it. So I can play Brian's copy. And plus, I mostly just want to play somebody else's courses. I'm not big into making my own courses, so I would like to play it at some point. But I bought it and I sent it to my brother's house, so I can play it then sometime. I don't think it was a Windows 3.1 screensaver. Let me see what Windows 3.1 screensaver looked like. master of typing. Oh, no. Yeah. The flying windows? No, it wasn't that. And I meant the wallpaper anyway. Wallpaper. What was the wallpaper for Windows 3.1? Oh, it was just the logo. Yeah. No, this was that, like a rolling hill, which apparently that guy who took that photo, like, he doesn't need to work anymore. He took that one photo, and just off of royalties, he, like, never had to work again. Like, can you imagine the luck in that? It's like, oh, that's a nice hill. Microsoft's like, hey, can we use this for our operating system that a couple billion people will be using? You're like, sure. Gustafson. Yeah. There you go. That's a good way of helping me read it. Oh, jeez. You found one in your hair? Oh, that's terrifying, dude. Dude, how... Maybe me and Daryl needed to check better because... Do I have any in my hair? I should probably check. But I haven't felt anything. I've been feeling around, so... Oh, Windows XP! That's what it was. It wasn't Windows 98. What was the Windows 98 logo? Oh, yeah, you right, dog. Windows XP. I knew I was forgetting one of them. And it's called Bliss. Unbelievable. Let's see how much this dude made. Oh, I was also wrong. Okay, he didn't pay royalties. They just bought it outright. Crazy, dude. Where was it? Sonoma Valley. Okay. Crazy, man. But he made low six figures. But it was a confidentiality agreement, so he couldn't do it. Okay, you don't have to work on it. Isn't that funny how just misinformation could spread? Like, I just thought that was the case, so I just told you guys that, and now you would have told somebody else, and then everybody would have started thinking that that dude never had to work again. I was wrong. Okay, anyway. Yeah, Alex Tessman's cocktails I can confirm, they're excellent. We've only done one meetup, like one big meetup. We did one in LA during the road trip. That was a pretty small one, super last minute, but we had about 10 people show up. We did a real one where we actually told people about it ahead of time and like gave people enough time to prepare in Columbus, Ohio. And we think we did that last year or maybe the year before. And that was a huge one, like almost 100 people showed up. It was pretty crazy. We'll do another one. We're planning on doing it sometime this year. It's just I haven't scheduled anything. So this year may not happen, but I will make an effort to make this year happen. If we do it again, it's going to be in Columbus, like 90% going to be in Columbus again. If we do a meetup anywhere else, it'll probably be a more impromptu one. It won't be like a premeditated one. Which, if we do the meetup this time, we might have like make it a little more formalized, like do a little cool presentation or something. These are just my thoughts, but we haven't talked about it at all yet. Do like a little presentation where we show some behind the scenes stuff, or like the process of some, like how a song is made or something, or we could do a live performance. That would be really cool. We probably need to see about like actually renting out like a gazebo at the park rather than just showing up there. I don't know how much the park would appreciate if we just suddenly started giving a presentation in their park without telling them ahead of time. But in any case, maybe this year. Oh, Tim Lawson, I'll see you later. I would definitely be down for a trip to South Cumberland. So for those of you who don't know, I'm trying to do some excursions on my vlog. Well, I've got plenty of places already lined up that people said they wanted to go. In fact, I've got Oh, I already edited that vlog. I just did one with Jeremy Cox and some of his friends. I forgot where we went. Somewhere. Oh, Kentucky. We went to Kentucky. So we shall see. We shall see. Hello, Brian. I forgot to say hello, even though you said Windows XP and I pointed that out. Yeah, the gears don't turn quite as often as they probably should. It's always at the last second. Boulevardier with Lillet Blanc instead of vermouth. Yeah, that whiskey sour was good, man. Wish I could be drinking that right now. My brother left a little sparkling water with like some mango flavoring in the fridge, and I just had that a few minutes ago. I wish I hadn't drank all of it already, because now I would really like to drink that. Maybe I'll go to the store and get something to drink. This is like, it's so hot right now that it's okay to go get something to drink when it's this hot. Kroger? Not Kroger. What am I looking at? Well, I'll just go to Kroger. Kroger's open 24 hours a day. You want those sparkling waters? It'll be so good. So good. Oh, is that the drink you always got with the... What's the one that has that weird cup that was at Thanksgiving? The brass one? What is that called? A Manhattan? Is it Manhattan or was it whiskey sour? I don't know. But it was good. It was good. Hold on. Why did... Marie Fisher's message got hidden, and I'm trying to show it, but it's not working. In any case. James Elder, are these vlogs not on AA channel? I know the others, like the China trip, were. Moscow Mule. That's the one. Which vlogs are you talking about? Oh, yeah, so just those excursions, those are for my vlog channel. Like the one where I went to Berea, Kentucky, I believe. And yeah, you definitely need to subscribe to my personal channel, man. Even if you don't watch the videos, I need that subscriber count to go up. Yeah, I wish Minnesota wasn't quite as far, because that was a heck of a drive. Especially the way I travel, like I just... Okay, hold on, what's happening here? Okay, I think we should be good now. I was trying to stream at that full 4K bit rate, and it was crapping out, but I think we should be good now. And hopefully it still looks okay. It looks good to me. 1440p, 30 frames per second, 85 degrees Fahrenheit. I hope this is still the right stream thing. Yep. Okay, cool. High def guns. Guns of Navarone. Okay, so Yeah, I'm actually all out of things to update you guys on. I think that's everything. Oh, it's making all this noise. Let's turn that off. I could do 60 frames per second next time. This is only 30 frames, but we'd have to go down to 1080p. And I prefer resolution over high frame rates. High frame rates, it's like, you know, I'm not crazy about them. Was there anything else? Oh, GDQ was pretty amazing. They broke the record, all-time record. They got over $3 million over the course of the week, and it was incredible. So the final stream was Chrono Trigger. It was a 6-hour speed run. We were there. We checked out part of it. Where were we? So we went to dinner at the start of it, and then in the middle of it, we came back. We went back up to the room. Daryl fell asleep because he was like jet lagged pretty much the whole time. He was basically just downing energy drinks to stay awake. And then I saw they were about to break the previous record of 2.9 million. So I ran downstairs. I barely caught it on film in time. It was great. But then it actually seemed possible that they were going to get to... No. It was less than that. 2.8 million. In any case, it somehow... It was like there was only like 20 minutes, 15 minutes left in the speed run. They had 100,000 to go. And it really seemed like they were going to break 3 million. And just as the donations kept coming in, I was like, dude, they're really going to break 3 million. So they broke $3 million, and they raised $1 million within that 6-hour window that Chrono Trigger was. And I got some video of it. You'll see it in the vlog. But the excitement in that room was insane. Like, the dude was sitting there running Chrono Trigger. He was having to concentrate on the game and keep playing while just chaos was going on behind him. Just literally just nonstop screaming. If you were in the audience, you couldn't even hear if they were talking or not because it was so loud. It was very cool, very exciting. I can't wait to actually get the vlog edited so you guys can see it too, but it was great. Okay. So yeah, but that's it. Any final questions? Does anybody have any final questions? Esther, yes, I went to GDQ and Daryl came. Big D Japan came and we went to GDQ together. It was amazing, dude. It's one of those things that maybe we'll do it again like another 5 years, but super happy we actually went and did it. It was really cool. PTH 1707, welcome. I'm actually going to be ending the stream really soon. Yeah, that's cool that it was on Chrono Trigger, one of the games that I almost streamed. Oh, so Uptrail, we were actually thinking about doing the Porcupine Mountains, but that's when we found out you had to actually reserve the campsites, and we didn't do that in time. So actually, I should ask you that. Well, it's too late now because we already bought Thomas's plane ticket. Wait a minute, if you're doing a quick weekend trip, does that mean that you planned ahead of time and reserved the campsites? Or were we just mistaken that you don't actually need to reserve campsites? I don't know. Oh, I'm glad you checked out some of the SGDQ, Marie Fisher. It is quite entertaining, especially if you like video games, which I obviously do. And yeah, James Elder, we will check out the shirts. We'll get those going, man. We'll get those going. Don't worry. Don't worry. That's going to happen eventually. Okay, but I'm going to end the stream, guys. I know it's kind of a short one. It's only 40 minutes, but it's hot in here, and I got to go get something to drink before I just overheat and die. And I'm sure my computer being on is not helping, which I also thought I turned it off before I left. I think my computer was on the entire time I was gone, which really sucks because that's a lot of electricity. So, mugs, hats, and mouse pads. Oh, you reserved it 5 days ago, Brian. We need. Well, it's too late now, but could we have done Porcupine Mountains after all? Should we still do that? because it might not rain there. Well, I'll talk to Brian about that. Okay. Yeah, okay. Anyways, thank you guys for watching today. Hope you guys all have a good one. Hope it's not hot there, or hope you have air conditioning. I do have air conditioning, just not in this room. So I'm going to go to the room that has air conditioning. And yes, it is indeed lucky, Aaron Jones. I'm also suddenly starving. I was hoping to go to bed without eating again, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So we'll see. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Have a good night. Yeah, but if it's raining now, Bob, it's not going to be raining later because the weather's going to move away. Presumably. Maybe another weather front will come in and it'll be terrible. Oh, dude, you know what? I saw that storm last night because we got hit by that storm in Minnesota. There was like a really cool lightning storm. I got a time lapse of it and everything. So that was probably the same storm that is hitting you right now, Bob. And there's probably some lightning and water, all that stuff. Okay, seriously, I'm gonna go. T Nguyen, it's Win? Yeah, Win. T Win, Get a Lasco fan. I've never heard of that, but I'll check it out. I've got a fan, I just don't have it in here. Okay, really going this time, guys. Thank you for watching. Look forward to stuff coming up. We'll probably have a weekly update on Thursday. If we remember to schedule it before we leave. We're filming this weekend. Until then, I'll go see you guys on the next one. Or somebody else will see you on the Patreon one. You guys will see me on the vlog. Okay, really going now. Okay, thank you guys. Have a good